Hey folks, it's Echo here. The Fun Pimps just had the first of the dev streams, so let's jump right on in. The first thing that they showed off was the new character model. Before we even get into the customizable features, you can tell right offhand that there is a lot more detail and clarity in these than the old ones that looked mostly like Play-Doh. They did call out that there were some bugs and some stuff that they're fixing in this, but on initial view they've got male-female, then they've got race, which is either white, black, Asian, or native ? They've got a variety of faces to choose from. They touted having, I think, 32 different types of eye shapes, a bunch of hairstyles. You've got different facial hairs you can see here. So ultimately you can go completely absurd like this, or, a little bit more badass. Next, we got some details on the new armor system, which has been a little controversial to say the least. With clothing being removed from the game, we're limited to 4 armor slots, which consist of head, outfit, gloves, and boots. Each set piece will have unique bonuses, so if we look here at the assassin set, the hood gives bonus sneak damage, the outfit gives sneak effectiveness, the gloves give you attack speed, and then finally the boots give you stealth sprint noise reduction. One question we didn't get to resolve on the dev stream was if these numbers are static, meaning the sneak damage plus 20% is specifically for a tier 2 assassin hood, or if that scales up as you go up towards tier 3, 4, 5, and 6. In addition to the individual armor piece bonuses, there will also be a set bonus if you're wearing all 4 pieces. Next, we've got the new Raider armor, which is going to be a heavy armor, and the perks for this one on the head are stun resist. On the outfit, you've got natural crit healing. Then on the gloves, you've got attack speed, which is pretty powerful. And then lastly, on the boots, you've got safe fall distance increase. One of the other things they called out in the dev stream was that you've got more jiggle tech on the armor. And by this, they're talking about the swaying like loincloth made out of metal there. Maybe not the jiggle tech you were looking for, but that's the jiggle tech you get. Next up, we have the new Enforcer armor, which is going to be a light armor. And the specialties on this in terms of perks are bartering for the head slot, crit resist for the outfit, fuel usage, that's an interesting one on the gloves, and then finally run speed on the shoes. One interesting question in regards to the armor came up in the Q&A session where someone had asked about, are we going to be able to fill out our entire inventory without having to dig into Pack Mule?
So they're asking, can we max out our inventory with armor mod slots like the deep pockets things like that, without having to buy Pack Mule?
I believe there's a new change that just went in the other day that's going to address that. So I think the answer is yes.
I know that there's mods and you can update it and gain some slots back.
I think you can put 2 different pockets in one armor piece now. Like you can put a 3 and a 2 in one and get 5 out of one if you want to use 2 slots for pockets. I'm pretty sure that's what Alan did the other day on it.
So this is going to make things interesting because you're going to have a little bit more slot economy where you're going to have to really think about how you leverage those slots in each armor piece. Previously, the Fun Pimp showed off pictures, but now we get to actually see animations of the new animals in terms of the doe and the stag. We haven't seen the rest of them, but we did get to see these a little bit. One update on these that they mentioned is there's a new fur shader, which makes, I guess, the fur just a little bit more detailed, and that it's more pronounced on some of the other animals. The zombies have all upped their fashion game and now will have multiple variants within each zombie type. As of the current plans for the 1.0 drop, they have 2 to 3 outfits each, and it sounds like they're going to be adding more of these as time goes on. So here's our good old tourist, and it looks like we've got 3 variants here at this stage. And then finally, our party girl is no longer limited to the black dress. She now has a red and a white one, so she's got more options in the closet. The demolition zombie got a nice makeover, and you can see that they moved the button up to kind of the shoulder area. This is going to make it a little bit trickier on Horde Night when you're trying to get headshots and not set the demo off. Also, check out those rocks that are flying out. You know how we used to have those kind of diamond-shaped ones? They've updated those to have circular ones. Unfortunately, once they do stick to the ground, they go back to kind of that blocky, pixelated look. Dismemberment has now been extended out to all the zombies, and it also has some gratuitous blood spray that definitely verges on the edge of comical. And this isn't even just when we, are taking heads off. It's sometimes when limbs come off. It's a little bit crazy. Storage boxes are getting an incredible quality of life change. First off, it's only going to take 10 wood to make a writable storage box, which is going to have much more capacity than your typical footlocker that we have in Alpha 21. Now comes the really amazing part. So if you want to upgrade this, all you got to do is right click and have iron in your inventory, and it makes a larger box that has more hit points to it. And then same thing again, you can upgrade to steel for a total of 80 slots. We don't need nails to do this anymore. It's just iron and steel for the upgrades and wood for the initial storage. Any items that you have in there will remain. So this is going to make base planning a lot easier. Some of the plant models have been updated, specifically cotton, Hops, coffee, and pumpkins have all got more of a 3D texture to them. The starter quest has been removed and replaced with a new challenge system, and I'll let Lathan talk a little bit to it here.
So now you can do these in whichever order you want, as long as you're doing the first row. Once you do the first row, it's going to unlock the second row. Once you unlock the second row, everything is unlocked. For every row, you get a reward.
So after this, Nathan went into dev mode and basically showed us what it looks like to complete out the quest and how everything works. You get rewards that you can redeem for each section, which he'll do here.
And then now I'm going to redeem this. And then look, everything's available now. I can do... Oh, well, now I have the White River Citizen quest.
So for those who have played the game quite a bit, I don't think this is going to change a lot other than give us little things to tick off and get experience as we go along. But for new players, this is going to help them learn the system a lot better. There's a lot of information that Lathan was talking about that is captured over on the right side there that helps you learn how to play the game. So now I'm going to jump around on some of the Q&A question items, and these are very random, but there's some really good information here.
Speaking of vehicles, the 4x4 by default seats 4 people now, and there's with a mod it'll hold 6, and with a expanded seat, the motorcycle can have a passenger now.
And Joel also noted that the gyrocopter will be able to carry 2, but he didn't say if it was able to be extended.
By default, when you craft a dew collector, it just takes primitive materials now, and no water purifier is needed, and it creates murky water. So you best find a cooking pot so you can boil up all the water that you need. And then you will install, there's 3 new mods for it. There's the purifier, which gives you blue water instead of murky water. And then there's a tarp that I believe's increases how fast it collects water. And then there's an expanded storage mod so that it holds 2 jars in each slot.
So I'm hoping this resolves 2 of the issues that we have around dew collectors. One is the production rate, and then the second is the amount of heat. And if we can have less dew collectors and accomplish the same task, hopefully that resolves both.
Someone's asking, will there be any lore in 1.0? There's thousands of lines of new dialogue, and they talk about Duke and Noah and the apocalypse.
So we may not be getting bandits in the full story, but maybe we get a little bit more of the lore in here. This next one is for all you builder types.
I don't think we did.
Not that I'm aware of.
There's probably new block shapes. I just don't know how many.
So Joel noted that there were some minor changes to the perk tree, but nothing major. Not a perk, but something along those lines I would think is the Taylor book set would have to be removed.
Nothing significant. Your builds are going to kind of feel how they do. You always did, but yeah, there's a few small changes.
Internally, we all would love to add a few more new boss type zombies to the game yet.
So this is one that actually took me by surprise because I'm fairly certain in the past Rick has said that they had no intentions of ever adding boss zombies. He did go on to say that if they added them, it wouldn't come until after the bandits.
Eating and drinking animations. Wasn't there some traction on that?
Not coming in 1.0, but yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah, it's coming. Just not working.
For a future update. Not in this build though.
Yeah, there's lots of POI work. You know, I think I was told like 75 new POIs on the north side of that, and quite a few tier 5s.
So it does look like we're going to get new POIs. The number is kind of all over the map. Joel's stating 75, but in a recent tweet they were saying hundreds. So we'll have to wait and see.
Is trader progression going to get slowed down? Yes.
Yes, we did that, and it's really good. And that's like the sleeper feature of the game, in my opinion. It's like the game plays so much better now because you're not getting an OP reward that just skips 10 levels on the weapon that you had. Just the economy's way better, so we're almost always broke the whole way through because there's good stuff that you want to buy and spend your money on nonstop.
I'm really excited about this change, quite honestly, because traders have needed to be nerfed for a long time. It's too easy to progress and skip massive portions of the content. I know on community servers we're typically running on motorcycles by like day 7, and that just doesn't feel like you really earned it. Here's another snippet that Joel added earlier in the stream in regards to progression.
We had a 2-player multiplayer test, and we got to day 70, and we still were not end game.
If that's truly how things play out, that's going to be a massive shift, because right now you're typically at endgame around day 14, maybe 21. Okay, one of the other key questions that comes up every time we have a new release.
So I do see a question that pops up about being able to play your same world from the old one. We always suggest, making a new one, especially since progression is changing. All new POIs, which wouldn't be in your old world. There's not really a good reason to try and keep going from that, because you'll miss out on so many new things.
So here's the deal on crossplay. It works, but we can't do it on launch. It'll be 4-player local host co-op on consoles.
So basically there's two pieces of getting crossplay set up. The first is just the technical feasibility, which they've done. The second is the certifications that are required for Microsoft and Sony. That's what they got to go through still.
So the discount topic is something we're working on. That one's a complex issue as well. We have Telltale Games own the original product, and sometimes it has to be under the same product.
So what this sounds like to me is a logistical issue to see if Sony and Microsoft will allow the mapping of the old Telltale accounts over to the Fun Pimp accounts for the new game.
We're hoping we can do it. We're crossing our fingers on that one too. We're doing our best, and that's our desire. We're not going to launch that initially. We may add some more free up in the holiday release. We're working on getting additional outfits that you could potentially buy in an in-game store, and we may give some free outfits yet too.
So when are we going to get a hold of this release?
Estimated drop time. I mean, Lathan doesn't want me to say that, but we're just saying on our roadmap we already said June. We'll be releasing in June.
That sounds like a perfect answer.
We still think we can hit that. So that's. But I've thought my crystal ball for release dates has been wrong for 12 years.
This, folks, is a tale as old as time, sales versus engineering. My bet is late June, early July. Hey folks, I hope you enjoyed that breakdown of the dev stream. This is my official announcement that I will be joining in for Streamer Weekend. I'm excited for it. I'm going to have content, both probably long form as well as streaming. So I will see you there. As always, a huge thanks to my Patreon and Twitch supporters over here. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.